How you doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal, and real rap, I owe y'all an apology in advance, cause this game is objectively not good, but it needs to be talked about. It was developed by Imagineering, same team that developed The Boy and His Blob. Which A Boy and His Blob is a bit of a cult classic. It's a great little game that was directed by David Crane of Activision fame. But we're not talking about A Boy and His Blob today. We did that already. Imagineering also developed Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, which was dreadful, and Barbie, which we will talk about at some point before the year is over, which was historically bad. And it was published by Acclaim. And yeah, we know. The best thing Acclaim published on the NES, in my opinion, well, they did about 3, maybe 4 good things on the NES, total. But all that aside, you don't want to judge a game by the developer or the publisher. This is a great example of the problems of both Imagineering and Acclaim. It takes 2 different types of space shooter, shoehorns them together, and instead of one bad game, well, instead of 2 separate bad games, we get one gigantic bad game. That's awful. Today, we're going to talk about Destination Earthstar. Now, Destination Earthstar, the story is interesting. About 200 years before this game, a group of Earthlings were captured by these aliens and were initially made to be slave labor. Over time, they earned their freedom and were allowed to live amongst the aliens that had captured them. And the aliens eventually gave them privileges and rights and all that, and they were given the opportunity to send a volunteer on a mission through space to find their homeworld, Earth. And that's where this game starts out. So the game starts with you flying around in a first-person cockpit view that kind of looks like what's the game, like Star Raiders, the old Atari game with the keypad? Kind of looks like that. And you fly to these different points on this map, on this grid. And they're either enemy ships to shoot down, or other like planetary bodies. I don't know if they're planets or moons or just round space stations or what they are. But some of them, you fly up to them, they're uninhabited, and you keep going. Some of them, they'll replenish your shields, your weapons, all that stuff. And some of them are enemy bases, and you fly into them. And that's when the game switches to a side-scrolling shooter. And it looks like the most bootleg version of Vanguard I have ever seen. And that's saying a lot because Vanguard came out in 1981. This looks a lot less fun aesthetically than Vanguard did. The music ain't good. The enemies, as soon as you jump to that side-scrolling view, the enemies are on you. And it's not fun difficult. It's just hard. And it don't feel, it's not a fun experience. Just put it like that. It controls terribly. The first person points in the game are slow and plodding, and maneuvering around on that first person void of space is just dull, actually. It takes way too long in game time to navigate through this map to get to different points in the map. Yeah, it's just not fun, at least in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion. This is not a fun video game. Sorry. Now, if you decide you want a copy of this for some reason, I've seen copies go for as low as $2.75. Saw a couple of copies most copies actually go for about $5. In very rare instances, about $9-10. Saw one copy go for over $15, and they were trying to scam. They were running a scam. Ain't no way. That game don't go for that much at auction. I'm sorry. And it definitely don't go for that much. Buy it now. You can get a complete copy for like $15. That's how bad this game is and how poorly received it is and poorly regarded. So Imagineering doesn't really exist anymore. They got folded into Absolute Entertainment, which I don't think exists anymore. And Acclaim went the way of the dodo somewhere in the early 2000s. They kept fighting the good fight, but the fight was too heavy for them. Games like this were the reason why. This game is bad. But anyway, this has been the 8-Bit Animal, and I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow. Tomorrow. Now, this is one of the best sports games on the NES. If I tell you who published it, it will blow your mind.